Welcome back to Half Moon's Picks. This is week 14 in the NFL. Last week I did exceptionally well, 5-2 overall. That was with my video picks and Twitter. I went 3-1 on my video picks, 2-1 on my Twitter under and overs, and actually I also did 5-0 on my teasers on my Twitter as well. Last 2 weeks I've been on fire for my Twitter picks. I am now at 5-1 on my under and overs and 11-0 on my teasers. Pretty good. I've been raking it in the last couple weeks. I hope everybody's been following me. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's right here, Half Mooner at Half Mooner at Twitter. Just briefly run down the games that I went over last week. I told you to pick, my first one was New Orleans -8. My goodness, man, they just did not show up. Drew Brees off the mark. The receivers dropping passes left and right. Even if, you know, I lost so much money on that. So luckily, I rolled it the rest of the way. Houston, they covered against Cleveland fairly easily. Then the Rams, kind of a scare on the Rams-Lions game. Like I said, I didn't see how the Lions were going to score. Someone commented, I said, yeah, I mean, I don't think they will. And the refs tried to give it to him, you know, giving him pass interference, getting him down the field. The Rams, with, you know, Goff with his 2 fantasy points he gave me, he fumbled the ball once, intercepted once, just played horribly, and still managed to cover that 10 points. That's how bad the Lions are. I mean, the refs also marched them down the field a few times. And what concluded the game-winning clincher was, of course, Matt Stafford, you know, interception at the end of the game. Classic work, Lions. You know, I could script that whole game for you. The last 2 games, I mean, so much. They do it like every week. And my upset pick of the week was the Jets +10 against Tennessee. They almost won that game. They should have won that game, actually, but well covered that 10 points pretty easily. The unders and overs, I said Arizona at Green Bay under 44, and Carolina at Tampa Bay under 54. Now my third one's the one I had, Buffalo Miami over 40. I really liked that one, and if they would have caught that ball at the end, the last play of the game, Buffalo, just catch the ball, it would have gone over that 40 points. And the game, you know, I used this game. I originally had Jacksonville and the Colts under, but I removed that one to put this game in because I was like, man, I got 3 unders I'm giving everybody. Everybody's like, who wants to bet unders? A lot of people just don't bet unders. They'll just take the over. So I didn't go with the 3 unders, and I put in my favorite over of the week. So, and of course the teasers I gave you: Arizona, Oakland, the Rams, Houston, and New England. All of them covered ATS wise as well. Whether you played them in a teaser or ATS wise, all those covered. Easy peasy, easy week. I won a ton of cash last week, so I'm hoping that you guys stay with me still. I'm starting to figure things out a little bit better. The last couple weeks been doing pretty good. So let's get week 14 rolling. My fourth pick of the week, my upset pick of the week, we got the Carolina Panthers traveling to the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are a 1.5 point home dog, and I don't see why. I know this is not much of a dog at all, but 1.5 points are going to Carolina, who's actually, you know, 1-4 ATS. They lost the last 5 games, no, they lost the last 4 games. They're 6-6. They were 6-2 just last 4 games. Detroit even managed to beat them. Greg Olsen's out for the season as he injured his foot. They got McCaffrey. He's the only offense that gives any kind of glimmer. Cam Newton's just been playing horribly lately, throwing interceptions left and right. And here we got an up-and-coming Cleveland Browns team who wants to win. You know, they've been playing exceptionally well. I've been on the road the last couple of weeks. Here they're coming back home. They are 4-2 ATS at home. And Baker Mayfield, their last home game against Atlanta, he had 216 yards and 3 TDs. So I'm looking at one team that's doing much better, and one team is just going downhill, and yet the road team, Carolina Panthers, is favored. I don't get it. I'm taking the Cleveland Browns plus 1.5. My third pick of the week, we got the Minnesota Vikings traveling to the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks are a 3.5-point home favorite, and Seattle's been playing well lately. This game is means a lot into the playoff berth. This is a Monday night football game. Should be an excellent game. Seattle's 6-1-1 ATS at home in the last 8 games, and they've beaten Minnesota 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. The Vikings, on the other hand, 2-4-1 ATS on the road. Lost the last week, where Seattle's won their last 3 games. It's a low spread, 3.5 points isn't that much. I'm taking Seattle minus 3.5. My second pick of the week, we got the Los Angeles Rams traveling to the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears are a 3-point home dog, and I believe Mitch Trubisky should be coming back. If Chase Daniels does come back and does play next week, I believe the spread will go up, and I'll take that higher spread. But I think Mitch Trubisky is just only supposed to be out for the 2 games. It was against the Lions and the Giants, but they wanted to play against the Rams this week. So they are 6-1 ATS at home, to where the Rams are 1-3-1 ATS over in the last 5 games. So they don't cover the spread, and that one was the Lions last week. The Rams are back-to-back road games. They won their last week. I think the Rams are a better team, but they just clinched their division. They have not really much to play for here, as you know they already won a playoff spot. The Chicago Bears had one heck of a defense. I think they should give them a run for their money. So give me the Chicago Bears plus 3. And my number 1 pick of the week, we got the Indianapolis Colts traveling to the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans are a 5-point favorite. And basically, Indianapolis here, they're back-to-back road games. They're 1-4 straight up on the road, 3-5-1 ATS in their last 9. Houston has 5-1 ATS in their last 6 games, and 5-0 straight up, and 5-0 at home. They're on a 9-game win streak, and they're doing exceptionally well. I don't think the Colts are going to break that win streak. I think the defense of Houston plays a lot better than the Jacksonville defense lately. So give me Houston minus 5. Well, this is the last part of the video. Just give you a rundown. We can just briefly chat about the other games I didn't pick. I can give you a handful of leans. Actually, I've been doing pretty well on my leans the last couple of weeks as well. So let's get on with it. The Thursday night football game, Jacksonville getting 4.5 points in Tennessee. This is, like I said, the Thursday night game. I fading Jacksonville. They beat the Colts 6-0 last week. They're 4-8, the bottom of their division. Where Tennessee, they still got a shot. They're 6-6. They won last week as well. But Tennessee won their last 4 games at home against Jacksonville the last 4 years by 5, by 14, by 3 and 2. So it's kind of a tight contest. So the reason why I stayed away from this one is, this should be like more of a 3.5 point spreads, 4.5 points. Kind of, maybe because of the demise of Jacksonville lately, but staying away from this divisional game. Should be a good game though. See, then next up we got Baltimore on back-to-back road games, getting 7 points, playing against Kansas City. Kansas City, Kareem Hunt got cut. He cleared waivers, but he's now an open free agent. I'm sure that some team will pick him up for sure. But he's suspended for 6 games or more, pending the outcome of the investigation. So they got the Chiefs are losing their best receiver. That's why I took the Oakland with the points last week, and it proved to be good. So Kansas City, they got the number 1 offense, no doubt about it. Baltimore has the number 1 defense. Should be an awesome game. Maybe that 7 points is a little bit too much, but we'll see. I might take that Baltimore, see if they get it over 7, maybe buy a hook for 7.5. We'll see. After that, we got Atlanta getting 6 points at Green Bay. Mike McCarthy, the head coach, got fired. I'm leaning Green Bay on this one. These Atlanta, lost their last 4. They're 4-8, and usually a team does exceptionally well, especially after their head coach gets fired, like the Browns. That's it show you, how well better they're doing once the coach goes. So I don't know what it is. It always seems to be that trend. So my first lean would be Green Bay at home, -6. The only reason wasn't one of my favorite bets, because at 6 might be a little too much. But Atlanta they're like the Lions. They're just no defense, offense just can't get it together. Let's see. Then we got next we got New Orleans. Giving 8 to Tampa Bay. New Orleans on the road, back-to-back road games, a divisional game. Week 1, Tampa Bay beat them. But I think this is my second lean. I think the Saints will pretty much blow them out. They want that revenge factor. They lost their first road game, so usually most teams split road games, but it's hard to win both. So. I'm taking New Orleans, minus the 8. It's low enough to, take it. And the ATS for the Saints is 5-1, so they do exceptionally well on the road, and the only loss was that last week. So, next we got the Jets and Buffalo game. This spread's not on the board yet. It was like 3.5. Buffalo is favored. This game just is a divisional game. Buffalo plays usually well at home. Jets, they've been struggling. This is the second back-to-back road game. They gave it their all last week, which I liked on that 10-point spread. But depending on what the spread is, I like Buffalo at home. But it's not one of my leans. But stay away from this game. Next would be the New England Patriots giving 8 to Miami. Now Miami there's 3 teams that have the best home record ATS wise, and that's Miami and New England and Chicago. So all 3 of those teams are like 5-1 ATS at home this season. And here's New England on a road team, giving 8. I know New England broke that winning streak earlier in the season with Miami. But here they are going into Miami. Usually it's a good game. 8 points might be a little too much. I mean, I still think New England will win, but by 8, it might be way too much for me. So, I lean. I'm not going to give this a lean. This is a divisional game, but kind of like Miami at home gets in at 8 points. Next, we got the Giants and Washington. This spreads off the board. It was a Washington home favorite by 1.5. But Colt McCoy just got injured on the Monday night game, and they're probably, he's out for the season as well. So they got their third stringer, Mark Sanchez, who's only been in there for a couple weeks now, so he only knows a handful of plays. Their offensive line's hurt. Washington defense is all banged up as well. I think Washington will probably lose out the rest of the season, especially if you got Mark Sanchez in there the rest of the season. They got probably they're probably, looking at who's going to back up, Mark Sanchez. I don't expect him to stay healthy the rest of the season, but you never know. So yeah, fade them, take the Giants, whatever the spread is. But so I can't be a lean because I don't know what the spread is. But next we got Denver on back-to-back road games, traveling to San Francisco. Not much of a travel. Denver's been playing well lately, won their last 3 games. They are 6-6. They're just under San Diego. You never know. They can win out and still, be competitive for the division and get a wild card spot or even a division lead. You never know. So that's what they're thinking. Case Keenum's really coming into play. Been playing it well in Denver. So here's San Francisco on a 3-game loss, 6 points. Denver looks pretty good to me. It's under a touchdown, but not a lean. But it's kind of hard to because Denver's on a back-to-back game, and favored by 6. It's kind of hard to do. I like Denver to win. Maybe put them in a teaser. Next, we got the Cincinnati traveling to the Chargers. The Chargers are a 14-point favorite. Chargers 6th ranked offense with the 7th ranked defense. My leans, I like the Chargers, but hard to lay that 14 points, man. 14 points, but Cincinnati's so banged up. I can't see him scoring anything here on the road. AJ Green's injured with the toe injury. Dalton's out for the season as well. I got Driscoll in, 32nd ranked defense. The Bengals. I don't see how anything. I loved, like I said, this is my 3rd lean with the Chargers, minus 14. Definitely teasing this week. Next, we got Detroit traveling to Arizona. Detroit never wins in Arizona. I don't know what it is, but here we got the worst offense and defense in the NFL with the Arizona Cardinals. They did go into Green Bay and beat Green Bay. That's why Mike McCarthy got canned. But Detroit's a 2.5-point home 2.5-point favorite on the road, and they lost their last 2 games. Detroit would probably win this. Because I want them to lose. I want them to get a better draft pick. They traded away players, and they got decent draft picks for next season. They're building. So they were 3-3, decided to just give everything away and just go for next year. And that's what they've been doing. They only won 1 game by pure luck since then. And, Arizona, right? Man, just stay away from this game. It's 2 horrible teams. You never know if Arizona wants to really play, but they just come off a big victory against Green Bay. So they're riding high. I'm hoping Detroit loses. That means they'll probably win. So next is another lean. My 4th lean is Philadelphia at Dallas. Dallas is just, they're just killing it. And I love Dallas in this position. They're 5-1 at home, 4-0 ATS at home. Dallas won last 4 games. They're 7-5, taking the division by storm. Here they got a divisional team 6-6 right below them. They can knock them out, give two games ahead of them. So I'm taking Dallas on this divisional matchup. Next, I got Pittsburgh at Oakland. Pittsburgh 11.5 points. Man, Oakland's so bad. I faded Oakland, even though they did play well against Kansas City, but remember their run game's out. So James Conner's out, leg. They're running back for Pittsburgh. On the road, 11.5. Man, that might be, depending on the spread. I know most people are probably betting Pittsburgh on this, just because how bad Oakland is. Here they are getting 11.5 points at home. It's hard to say. Pittsburgh likes taking those little small teams and just running all over them, or they'll just play them at their level. So it's a coin toss. So stay away from this game. Next we got that's it. We got the Rams from Sunday night as my second pick, and the Monday night is my third pick with the Seattle Seahawks at home. So that's about it. Stay tuned for my sponsors. Also, you can save 10% off by selecting holidays, plural, with KStreams if you still want to watch football on your computer or on your Android phone or Android box. If you need a sports book, check out Bovada. And if you just want more sports information, other prognosticators, Geo Knows and Hatbox and Billy B and all, and Matt the Fanatic and Andrew Warren, all those guys, they do a great job. Check them out, and I will see you next week. Peace. You enjoy placing a few bucks on your favorite team? Maybe try your hand at cards or on the slot. Use me as a reference and click the link in the description below and receive a new member bonus and help support this channel. Bovada, just better. IPTV service with over 2,000 channels, HD and 4K, VOD, PPV, and the Sunday Ticket. 24/7 channels and so much more. All this starting at $10 a month. Go to halfmoon.kstreams.tv to sign up, find out more.